Maybe. No.
No, I refuse to do that thing, Richard. You know me. I refuse to do that. Are we live? Are we live? Are we? Is it? Can you hear? Can you hear? God damn it, I hate that. But hey, everybody, thanks for watching. This is Underground Video Networks.
UVN
I still think we need
488.
Yeah, I still think for these episodes we need to just for this time being rebrand the show as like Underground Video Network Behind the Quarantine, or or Behind the Mask. There we go. I got all my Star Wars stuff, Rich. But yeah, I'm Michael Boroff.
I'm Richard Catterjohn.
Oh, this is what still throws me off. It's like waka waka waka. Oh man, it's good to see you, Rich. I think I've said this before. We love and appreciate our fans and people who watch the show, but at this point in time, we don't give a shit if anybody's watching.
Someone's watching.
Hey, thank you. But this is honestly, with everything going on and me and Richard being as responsible as we are, this is our chance to hang out and BS and actually get the behind the counter talk that we used to have when we worked behind the counter. And oh man. So how's the quarantine been going for you, Rich?
Trying to finish up my last class, almost there.
Right on.
Hopefully next week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah, I have to have everything. I have to have everything turned in by July the 7th, and then I get a grade after that or whatever. So let's hope everything works out okay.
Yeah, so then that way you don't have to worry about going back to school when they finally reopen. And
yeah.
Speaking of, I mean, we hate to talk about it because there's so much more stuff to talk about, but we do really have to mention. I mean, here in the last week. What was it? Columbus just made masks mandatory.
Right. Dayton started it. Yeah.
Dayton started it. I just got word, I think it was today or yesterday, I read Cincinnati is now mandatory.
And Cleveland's voting. Yeah. Cleveland's
voting. And people, I hate to break this to you. I mean, Lima's up there when it comes to population, and then it also breaks down to
it's on the map. It's already up to that level 3. It's not 3. It's somewhere.
There's 4 levels.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen. And Rich, I don't. It doesn't bother me. Today's a great example. I went to Alter Ego Comic Books in Lima, Ohio, who are responsibly open. Their employees wear their masks. They share a space with the other store. Good for, oh man, Rich, I should know this.
Yeah.
This is really bad of me because I was going to promote them because I bought my Star Wars mask from them. But as soon as I said the word good, it's predominantly Good Eats now because I've been watching Alton Brown's Quarantine Kitchen. So as soon as I said good, it just became Good Eats. But I was there today. The employees wear their masks. Where I work, we have to wear masks. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people where when I see people bitching and moaning about they can't wear a mask to go to Walmart, and I'm thinking to myself, I work in a hot factory for 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day wearing a mask.
Well, now I've been reading the reports where you might even be able to get it again. They're thinking that immune blood, you might be able to get it again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned now than ever.
I legitimately am too, because Richard, you're like me. We trust the science. Opinions mean crap to me. Numbers mean a lot to me. And, when even my dad, who's as stubborn as the next guy, when he'll be the first one to throw, don't you people remember learning about 1917 and the Spanish flu? You didn't see them people wearing masks, bitching and moaning on Facebook. Dad, there wasn't Facebook. That's not what I meant,
But they wore masks back then.
They did. What he was saying was you didn't see people back then bitching about it on Facebook. I was like, Dad, there was no Facebook. He's like, I know, that's not the point. But yeah, so and then what got me is they were responsible. You get a handful of customers that come in, and it's almost a 50-50 crapshoot. What really got me, your big stores that mart with the wall in the major. We'll just go ahead and get away legally with pronouncing the J.
Sorry, that was weird. Sorry.
You opened up your porn folder, didn't you?
No, that was us.
It's okay, Richard. I have that fear too.
No, there's someone else.
I have that fear.
I was going to say hi to him, and I opened up, and it started playing.
Okay, right. It's okay, Richard. I had that fear too. I make sure everything's logged off, you know.
No, I was trying to see who was watching.
But you know, I've seen the decline in it, and I went to the mall today. I just found out that they'd reopened last week, and I was dying for some Chinese food, and I wanted to go to GameStop to trade in some games to pick up the Last of Us 2, which just came out, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'm telling you, Richard, the mall, you'd have thought it was a year ago walking into that mall, aside from the people that work there. You know what I mean? The people that work there.
Yeah.
You know, but to everybody else, I'm just, it's going to happen. The mandatory is going to hit Allen County and the surrounding counties, and
probably the state.
They're just going to have to probably state. But I was going to
go for it.
Shop. Yeah, nope. I remembered them. The shout I want to give, because this episode, once I stop talking, we're going to start talking about Empire Strikes Back. But I wanted to mention that the space that the shop that shares space with Alter Ego Comic Books in Lima, Ohio, is Shop for Good. They're a great locally owned and operated store that have a lot. It's predominantly handmade. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not outsourced. You know, homemade, handmade stuff.
It's art and crafts. Yeah.
Yes. I recently picked up a few masks from them, and one of them is my Star Wars mask. And here's my thing. If you're a nerd or a geek, not only are you responsible as a human being for wearing a mask, you're responsible for wearing something like this. Star Wars, Captain America, something nerdy. And you know why I think it's important? Because the other day, this is a true story. I was at Walmart and I had my Baby Yoda mask on. And this woman with her child, probably about 7 or 8 years old, being very responsible, wearing their mask. The little girl stopped me because, of course, I was in a toy aisle. I bought a Lego set. I ain't going to lie. And she goes, Dad, is that Baby Yoda? And I kneeled down and I back for her. I go, yeah. And her mom's like, oh my God. And she loves Baby Yoda so much. And even through the mask, you could see it tickle. You know what I mean? It made her happy. Like she thought it was adorable. And of course, you know, I told her mom, I go, I bought this from a website a friend of mine recommended, Flex Comics. It's going to sound weird because it's a comic site, you know, for weightlifters / nerds. But I go, that's where I got the mask, and I would love to see them get your bit. So in this time right now, not only is it responsible, but if you are in a position to make even an adult smile or chuckle or, you know, say, hey, I like that Matt, you know, by God, if I walked by somebody and they like my Star Wars mask and it sparks a conversation, that's even great. That's great. Okay, I know it's hard for you see right now, but I'm getting off my soapbox right now, Rich. So the big news, Richard.
Empire Strikes Back turns 40 this year.
Sweet God.
I know we're about a month behind on this, but
that's true. Yeah, but I mean,
but the good thing is it got re-released. Drive-ins are picking it up.
Oh, I know. a lot of times for people watching a show, me and Richard do talk a little bit before, like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? The rashes, stuff we don't want to talk about, in front of you. How is the rash, Richard, really? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's me. But, we started to talk about this. Oh, my God, man. Empire Strikes Back is coming back to the drive-in theaters. Finally, a ray of hope, pun intended, a ray of hope in the desolate, apocalyptic universe that is 2020. Man, oh my God.
Yeah, it's been remastered, I guess, in 4K because they were going to have it released or something.
Oh, yes.
It was a special edition. They were getting ready for the 40th anniversary and stuff. So this is supposed to be really, really good to watch and everything.
That's why I've been kind of waiting because the last couple times I've gone to any place that sold DVDs, I've seen the release of, like the Star Wars movie. They're playing catch up with the 4K movies, like the older stuff, like Close Encounters, the classics they're bringing to 4K. And I'd seen that Star Wars, like the entire trilogy of trilogies, the trilogy cubed, if you will, or is on 4K. But I'm like, I don't want to buy. If I'm going to buy them, I want to buy them all. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want a 20, 40, 60, 80. I want the set, even the prequels if it comes to it. But I mean, if they were to release the original trilogy and the new trilogy and 4K without the prequels, okay, but
hey, the prequels got some love this week. The one that did The Last Jedi, he was talking about it. He was tweeting that how that they were the ones that got everything started in the digital world, which those movies were. If those movies didn't happen, digital movies would not have happened.
This is true. Yeah. But they were really the pioneers when it came to the digital world, media, the digital world. Yeah.
Between that and Robert Rodriguez, Once Upon a Time in Mexico,
Hollywood.
Mexico. Yeah, that was the one that was shot totally in digital. That was the first one.
Yeah.
So, but we digress. Back to The Empire Strikes Back. It's been
man,
years. That makes me feel old.
I'm right there with you, and I have confirmation because it was always a running joke in my family that I was born the day before Star Wars was released, and Dad insists it might not have been. He'll concede it might not have been the next day, but as a baby, I was taken to the theater with my parents and my big sister to see that movie. And I'm getting confirmation slowly again from my sister that that may have been true for Empire Strikes Back. Now I know for sure I was old enough to see Return of the Jedi. I remember that one, but they're telling me that I was, as a toddler, brought to the theater to see Empire Strikes Back, and my mom probably smoked in the theater at the same time too. That's how long ago it was, but. Yeah, 40 years, man.
Yeah, it was at the Frontier Theater in Lima on the east side.
I remember that theater because that's where I remember seeing Jedi, and I remember seeing we talked about this particular movie a little bit ago, Batman with Michael Keaton. I remember seeing that at the Frontier.
Yeah, the Frontier had all those first runs.
Oh my God.
But I actually stood in line for Empire with my dad to get in.
Oh my God, there
was a line for Empire.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, it really doesn't surprise me because I mean, movies might not have had the media and the publicity that movies today do, but Star Wars was really one of the first movies that became epic.
You're right.
You know what I mean? That became, that huge. So I wouldn't doubt it if Empire was like one of the first, in my opinion, one of the first movies that, when, you finally saw a trailer for it, or you saw, legitimately a commercial for it.
Right.
Coming to theater, that might not have been one of the first movies to draw a crowd and draw a line.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in the Lima, because I remember, because we were all the way over towards the whichever the grocery store at that time was. It's where the Chief's grocery store was. It was circled all the way back, and it would go where the old Radio Shack, and it would go around that way. I don't remember exactly what was in 1980, but the Radio Shack was there for a long time. So
for a long time, I remember going to that Radio Shack.
So we were all lined up and around, because I even remember.
Oh my god!
Because that was 1980, so I wasn't quite driving yet. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all fun. I loved seeing Empire over there. And it was the theater had the sound. They had the first ones with that surround in the area. At least because I remember seeing it like in just the 2D with 2D sound, 2 speakers.
Right. Yeah, it blew your mind when you heard an explosion over here and not over, that was like,
yeah,
it's like I'm there,
tracks. But
it's a quarter of a K.
The technology in that movie was just for that time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we got Boba Fett. What else would we want?
Yeah.
The holiday special introduced, and then we got Boba Fett on the screen. So.
Oh man, Empire is one of those movies that how do I put it? When it comes to sequels, the sequel is hardly ever, rarely if ever, better than the original. That one, I've read a billion lists by a billion different people, and that one is always the exception. When the whole, there was no such thing as a sequel except for Empire. There's always that asterisk at the bottom of the article that says except for Empire, and I'm one of those people. I mean, I love Star Wars. I love Empire. I love Jedi. But of the three of them, I am legitimately, and I'm not just saying that, I am legitimately of the people that Empire is the best of the original trilogy for me, if not all of the Star Wars universe movies. I really like Rogue One, but I consider that almost a standalone movie because it's in the universe, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Empire,
the original three, Empire for sure.
Yes, but yeah, I love that movie because I think that movie ranks up there, especially for people of our generation, Richard. That movie ranks up there with Transformers the movies for movies that you up as a kid. Because, hear me out. Transformers we all grew up watching the cartoon. We grew up watching cartoons in general. Nothing bad ever happens in cartoons. We go to watch this movie. It's Optimus Prime on the big screen. This is the greatest movie ever. He's dead. What do you mean he's dead? That movie effed up an entire generation. That was the first. That might have been the first death a lot of us experienced. And Empire goes up there too because for a lot of us, that was the first time we watched a movie where at the end of the movies the bad guys won. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was no.
The good guys. There was no ending, But even then, the idea of sequels and trilogies were still kind of new to us. But I mean, it had an ending, but not an ending. It wasn't like the second Lord of the Rings where it literally was no ending. It was just it was and cut. Third movie, action.
Yeah.
But the bad guy
Ford back. That was the problem because he hadn't signed for the third one.
That's true.
Because I read Starlog, because before the internet there was Starlog.
Starlog, yes, I had yes.
And Fantastic Films and the magazines like that. that
Fangora.
Yeah. So I mean, Starlog was the one that was always on top of things. Then you had those other ones that were like the Internet Now, the Speculative, the Rumor magazine,
Yeah.
Because I remember going in that we was going to learn more about the Clone Wars and how I always remember Boba Fett was supposed to be part of the army that wiped out the Jedis and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was close, not quite. I mean, because he's a clone of the ones that wiped out the Jedi. So Lucas leaked that, or it wasn't leaked, but I remember I went to Middle High.
Foreshadowed.
Yeah, I bought an actual synopsis for all the Star Wars movies. It was like a bootleg thing, and it had all.
Oh, cool!
It was all like what Lucas had planned out to do in the prequels, and then leading up to that with all the Clone Wars stuff. And it mentioned in that about the Boba Fett and the Mandalorians was supposed to have been like what was going to wipe out the Jedis. So it was close,
Right.
It made sense after rereading that a little bit. It kind of made sense, But I don't know if that was legit or not, Because, back in the day, anybody could just wrote up something and made copies, because it was like a photo type thing.
And there was no way to fact check anything, too, because even a magazine like Starlog that had editors and everything, they didn't have the access to fact checking, that we have today. I'm sure there's editors. It's just like
Starlog was on top of stuff. Starlog was the magazine at the time. It really showed you the behind the scene production because it was out even before Star Wars. Because I knew about Star Wars through Starlog, the first movie. And then it just ran with Star Wars, I mean, it went straight from Star Trek straight to Star Trek the Motion Picture and The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That was the world back then for me.
Yeah. But it was like when you got done watching Star Wars, there was that excitement, the good guys won, and this is great. And then when Empire ended, you're like, what happened? No, it's not over yet. They gotta, they didn't lose, It was for a lot of us. It was, I mean, we had TV shows that did it, but for us, it was the first real cliffhanger because there was no way that was the end, and we knew we were going to have to wait to see the end of this story. And oh my God.
Yeah, and
but
we didn't know Mark Hamill would even be in this one because he wrecked his car before production started. I mean, he was in that serious car wreck and got his face messed up and everything.
Yep.
So, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for this movie.
And that was great. That was some of the earliest, oh shit, we need to do a rewrite real quick moment, Because, I remember reading that too, because the entire scene with the Wampa, that was, and finding a reason for him to be in, for Luke to be in a mask to cover up until the accident happened,
Yeah.
That had to have been.
They had to rewrite as they were filming,
Yeah.
And
that's almost one of those. Oh. Well, I was going to say that would be one of those great Slider episodes, which just like everything seems normal. What's the big thing that changed? Oh yeah, they shot Empire with Luke Mark Hamill not getting into the car wreck. Like, oh my God, we're staying on this earth.
And then they introduced Lando Calrissian because Harrison Ford was going to be walking because they thought he wasn't coming back. So that's why they did that, I mean, seriously, there was a lot of negotiation back then to get him into that movie. That's what
Lando was. Oh yeah,
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
But Lando, I mean, it was a good introduction to the series,
Yeah, and Lando is especially a very important character in the history of science fiction. He was one of the I'm not saying the first, but he was one of the first Black characters to be elevated to, main character status. You know what I mean? Not just, Helmsman number 5 in the back or whatever, I mean, he had Lando Calrissian had a first and a last name. In science fiction, that means a lot, because you have Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Lobat.
Yeah. And then
Lando.
Plus, we didn't know what side he was on for the longest time.
That was a great.
He flipped off. He was helping the Empire.
See, I will always defend Lando. He was in a bad position.
Yeah.
That was when, they always make the allegory, to the old days, like during the World Wars, where, if you got a gas station and the Nazis have surrounded you, hey man, here's some gas, man. Don't kill me, Then your buddy comes along, and you owe him a favor and he needs some free gas. You're like, yeah, man, but just don't go to the full service pump. He did what he had to do, but I love that character because in the end he did what was right. That man sacrificed. He ran Cloud City.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cloud City was his place.
Yeah.
He sacrificed it all for doing the right thing. That's why I think, everybody says they love Lando Calrissian, but I still don't think he gets the credit he deserves because you don't really realize how much he gave up. What did Luke give up? He gave up living on a farm. What did Han give up? He was yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he gave up. But you see what you see what I mean, though. He made a huge sacrifice for his friends and for the rebellion.
But he got the Falcon back. Oh.
He did get. Yeah. Oh man. But I mean, look at what else Empire Strikes Back brought us. Yoda.
Right.
Yoda. I mean, if there was no Empire, there would be this little guy. So without the puppet, there would be. But I mean, it introduced Yoda, which was one of the all-time best practical effects. Jim
Henson.
And it was smart on Lucas's thinking too. We're just like, well, we want to do this creature. We're probably going to have to make it a puppet. They didn't just decide to do a half-ass puppet. No, they went to the man.
Yep.
We need the puppet to end all puppets. We're going to go to the puppet master. We're going to Jim Henson, And then Jim Henson was just like, if you're going to do this, you're going to need my main man, Frank Oz, over here.
Right.
Because he is, they could have got anybody to do that, seriously. At the time, nobody knew who the hell Frank Oz was.
Right.
People like that weren't well known as they are today because of the internet. But he was still like, no, we want Frank Oz. I love the Muppets, and I love that man, So, it was a great introduction to that character. And Empire Strikes Back is legitimately is an important movie, sci-fi aside, just in general. Just a great... Because it set the groundwork for, movies don't have to have a happy ending.
Right.
If you end a movie on a happy ending, people are happy. But if you end a movie on a sad note, people need to know what's going to happen next. They are going to come see the next one, Yeah. It sets a standard for sequels.
Yep. And then, like I said, Boba Fett. To me, that was the ultimate part of that movie, because that's all I was
yeah.
even though he only had a couple lines, but
Yeah. What are you talking about? He was in the first movie. Don't you remember when he was standing behind Jabba? Okay, I can't even say that with a straight face, man. That's CGI Boba Fett walking across the screen. But we got Boba Fett.
And then the whole carbonite scene.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's like Star Wars,
Yeah. Speaking of, I gotta show you. I'm gonna pick this up real quick. I gotta show you what I picked up just last week. I know. Yeah, I picked that one up. That's the other great thing about this being the 40th anniversary is toys. There's a whole line of Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary pop figures. I got I'll show it to you later. But I got Yoda in his hut on Dagobah. I got Luke, or I got Han and Leia in the carbonite scene. 40 years, man. God.
Yeah, I can still remember when I learned, Darth Vader was actually Luke's dad. I mean, that was the craziest part of the movie. At least I think it was, because they're battling it out. And he's all like almost bloodied there, hanging. I am your father, even though that's technically not a movie, but
that may have been one of the end all beat all greatest reveals in cinematic history. Because, well, especially it gets even better later on the more you learned about it, because not only did it blow everybody's away when they found out that when they found out that Vader was Luke's father, which is still impactful to this day. I have friends, a mutual friend of ours, Rachel, she's part of the 501st. She introduced her kids to Star Wars, and they're huge Star Wars fans, but she had, honest to God, she had actual video of her recording her kids watching The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, wow.
When Vader revealed that he was Luke's dad, and it was priceless.
Wow.
Because it was the first time you could honestly say in 40 years that you saw a brand new person, a new person genuinely being surprised by that moment. Because, they were probably, how old were their kids at the time? Probably 6, 7, maybe 8 years old. Not a lot, mom and dad limited the internet time, and it's not that they were sheltered from it, but it just, never came up. But to see, you can still watch them. That's one of the things you can find on YouTube. You can find, you can look it up, is the Vader reaction videos. It still happens to this day. There are still kids being born to this day that have no idea that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad, and you get to see that reveal. But what made it even better for us, Richard, is we learned later on down the road, when we started to learn movie trivia and history, that aside from Lucas and I can't even remember if Mark Hamill,
yeah.
they were the only ones that knew, because the line of dialogue that the actor in the costume said was not "I am your father." It was something along the lines of "I killed your father," for the crew. Now, Mark Hamill knew what was actually going to be said, so he knew how to react.
Right.
But I remember hearing stories about, at the screening at, what was it, like Man's Chinese Theater. Even Luke Hamill or Mark Hamill, I remember, reading or hearing in an interview years ago, said that when that moment came, he was doing one of these numbers. Because nobody.
Yeah, because I guess Harrison got almost pissed at him because he actually knew and he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Those two were like the cast crew, like maybe the copy girl who, like Xerox or, they carbon copies of the script, but not a single person, cast or crew, aside from those two, knew the truth. So when that moment, I'm telling you, Richard, if we ever find the time machine, I mean, I'm not looking for ways to get rich buying stock. There are certain movies and certain moments that I want to go see, and I'm going to sneak into Man's Chinese Theater and see that reaction. And I will sit in the back. Or no, I'll sit all the way in the front because I want to look back. It'll be me and Mark Hamill looking back. We're the only two people looking back. Mark will look at me like, "What are you looking at?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, no." But man, legitimately, Richard, could you imagine that moment because God love Carrie Fisher. She was probably, and I say this with love, and this is from her mouth, she was probably either high or drunk during the screening. And I say that with love. She will admit it. But can you imagine her? What the fuck? You know, can you imagine that reaction from her? I didn't have any blue milk, Richards, to celebrate Star Wars, so I got some blue. Yeah, I seriously made this specifically for today. Oh, a little bit better than milk.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said we were talking about the drive-ins.
Right.
Man, that is awesome. We talked about it. You know, I'm one of those people. I will go to the movie theater by myself. I've actually gone twice in one day during the summer when I had nothing better to do. I do. I was like a couple years ago, because I go to the theater, you know, down the road from me, Van Wert, which is like a tenth of what it costs for the bigger theaters. I went to see a movie. I went and got lunch, and I went back and saw something else. It sucks that with everything going on right now, I would have, you know, I am old enough, Richard. I do remember when they re-released them about, what was it, 15 years ago, Richard? It was just before they did the re-release, remember? They re-released the original.
They re-released them. Yeah, it was 97.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, because I know I was out of high school, because I remember I took my nephew Corey and my niece Emily, who were probably between the ages of like maybe 10 and 8 at the time. I remember taking them to go see those movies. I remember begging my sister, like, look, this is really important to me to go take these kids to see it. So I do remember getting to see the reissue.
Edition, the special. They're special.
The special.
Han shoots
Who shot first? Just want to walk up to Lucas. No. Bad Lucas. But
did you?
You know,
I know off topic about changes and stuff. Did you see on the Disney Plus that under the Star Wars: A New Hope, they have the missing footage of Luke Skywalker and Biggs talking and stuff?
Yes, I do. It's under the extras.
Yes.
It's under the extras.
I always remember when that was leaked out on YouTube there a while back, and then was taken down, I think, or something. But now Disney actually released that.
Yeah.
Holiday special, please.
I know. And you know, it was great to see it. I mean, properly, but let's be honest, Richard. I can see why it was cut. It was a really weak scene.
But it explains so much of Luke's back that was missing. Because you kind of got like, he just like was out there, all of a sudden there's a battle going on, and then all of a sudden he's like thrown into this whole fray where you got a little bit of, you know, where he was known about the rebels and stuff like that. You know, because Biggs told him all about it and everything. So that made a little more sense why he did join up with Ben and stuff.
And it really did help bookend when they re-released the footage when he runs into Biggs at the Battle of Yavin.
Right.
He's like, Biggs, oh, he's great. Because I mean, at the time it was a great little nod, you know, like, oh, hey, they know each other. Well, that's cool. But now it was a perfect bookend to that, where it's just like, oh,
yeah. Well, at least
that's great.
I was always privileged because I actually had Star Wars. Yes, Amanda, we didn't tell you because I thought you were doing something else.
Amanda found out.
Yeah.
No, listen, no, Mr. Bob is not here. No, wait, better one. Who is this? Prank call! Prank call! Hi, Amanda. No, if Amanda's watching, we really didn't know. I didn't find out until yesterday that I was going to be off today for work. Actually, if it wasn't for the 4th of July, I would legitimately be at work right now. And because I have absolutely no concept of time, which is ironic because I love time travel movies, I was like, what do you mean a 4-day week? What do you mean we're not coming in tomorrow? Mike, it's 4th of July. Seriously? Yeah, I had no idea. Oh man. But yeah, you said it's going to be
the link, Amanda.
Oh gosh, she's going to pop up. Oh, maybe. She's going to be so angry.
But yeah, you know, I mean, this was the best movie, you know.
Yeah, but what we were saying, before I got derailed on my own again, which is my fault, was I have no problem going to the movies by myself. I love going to the movies by myself. But the one thing there's so much as a single man, I have absolutely no problem doing. Go to the movie theater, I'll go have a bite to eat. I still can't do the drive-in. There's still something that just seems so uber creepy. You know, if you go to the movie theater and you're sitting down and you see a guy sitting out there by himself, cool, guy's here to watch a matinee, no big deal. But if you go to a drive-in and you walk past cars of, oh, look at that cute couple, look at that family, look at that guy sitting by himself.
With a box of popcorn. Oh.
With a box of popcorn. Where's your hands at, mister? 10 and 2 on the wheel. You know, I still can't.
You want Amanda to pop in? She's right here.
Hell yeah!
You scruffy looking dumbass half nerders! I don't give a shit.
Mr. Bob, he's not here.
This is not the way.
It's all his fault. I was right. Why is my left your right? It's all. I'm pointing at you, Amanda. I'm pointing at you, but I'm pointing at Richard. This is really messing me up.
On my screen, you're actually pointing at Richard.
Mine too, but he's the one that controls all. Hi, Amanda.
Hi. By the way, you know you get a better picture if you pick the other one, the one that makes it slightly smaller. No, not that way.
Oh,
that way.
I was liking the other one.
Oh, no, too big. Makes your face go.
That's what she said.
So you two assholes thought that you were going to do a Star Wars special, and I wasn't going to find out.
Wait, I just realized something, Richard.
I don't have a job, so this is all I have.
I know, but Richard, I just realized something looking at the screen right now. Here's the story of a man named Brady who was bringing up 3 berries.
Thank God you're on Facebook. Thank God you're on Facebook so you don't get any demonetization.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh. But no, Amanda, we were just talking about, is Empire going to be playing? Do you have any drive-ins near you?
We do, but there's no way in hell I'm going to a drive-in.
See, we were just talking about that because I like I told Richard, I can go to a movie theater by myself 12 times a day and it doesn't bother me, but there's still that like a little bit of stigma to go into a drive-in by myself.
It's what is going on in this world.
Well, I'll agree, but I will say this: I would feel safer going to the drive-in than I would a normal theater because, at least in my car, I can roll up my windows and y'all ain't breathing or coughing on me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So like, let's say you have to get out to use the restroom.
Guys are a little different.
Oh, okay, good for you. So we all now know when he's doing this in the car, don't look through the window. Great.
But I mean, the same could be if you're just going for a movie, though. I mean, it'd be no different than going to a normal theater.
See, the thing is the benefit of going to a drive-in, which I absolutely love, and yeah, I don't really go to the drive-in by myself anyway.
Yeah.
Well, because we go with all of our friends, thanks. Our theater lets us pay for an extra $5. We could go in and we could take in grills and coolers and food and hang out, and it becomes and we take our dogs and the whole 9 yards. And
actually, you know what? I was reading. I really think well, I saw on Facebook, Richard, not too long ago that I'm almost certain that the Vandale Drive-In, which is the one that's close to me, right, they started doing something like that too, where it was like a compromise on their part, where it's just like, we don't want to endanger anybody by going to the concession stands, but at the same time, we don't want to lose a ton of money. So look for like you said, Amanda, like for an extra $5, bring your to-go order. We don't care. Watch our movie, stay safe.
Ours always let us do that. Ours has always been like that.
That's dope.
But just from pictures taken from a friend of mine who went to go to the drive-in last weekend for her birthday, the line for the bathroom never ended. Nobody was wearing a mask, and no one was following any social distancing. There's a reason why I don't have a job. There's a reason why, welcome to my entire lifestyle now.
Yeah.
I got called the N-word for not wearing a mask the other day. And not the racial N-word, the German N-word.
Oh my God. Holy dude, talk about a deep pull on the insult bag.
Yeah, made me feel like I was a stormtrooper or something.
Yeah, stormtroopers wear masks.
They have consideration. By the way, hi Richard, love the shirt.
But I mean, you're close enough to the area. We were just talking about at the beginning of the show, you know, all the places that have become mandatory. Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton. I'm with you, man. Bring it on. I wear mine. Amanda, you'll appreciate this because I'm essential. Because God only knows, you know, the world won't, you know, continue spin. The world won't continue spinning. I like that one.
I make them $10.
Here, you see? Have you seen mine?
Nice. Yeah.
But you know, I'm considered essential. So aside from taking some, you know, voluntary time off, you know, I've been working nonstop. But very socially, or, you know, we're responsible. We have to wear the mask. So like I told Richard, when I see people bitching and moaning that they can't wear a mask for 20 minutes while they go to the store, I remind them I work in a hot, nasty ass factory and wear one for 8 to 9 hours straight. You know, bring on the mandatory, you know, then at least I'll be somewhat justified when I see people walking around and it's like, hey, you're going to get fined.
I hate to break it to people because as soon as it goes into effect here, be warned, you will be called because we have businesses that aren't even using them. Businesses.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Star Wars, something happy.
Right. Yeah. Well, we gotta. But no.
But I love next weekend. That's what we were talking about. Empire is being re-released next weekend at drive-ins.
Oh, goody!
Man. And I had. Well, the one thing I have seen here recently, as I love the creativity people have had.
What version?
It's a 4K new release.
No, Dad. Is it special edition bullshit?
It's a new release.
We were just talking about that shit too.
It's
but I mean,
4K edition. That's all I know.
Okay, at least Empire isn't that messed up. Unlike trying to go see some New Hope with that horrible CGI Jabba the Hutt, or Return of the Jedi, where they turn Jabba's palace into like a very seedy place. To hey, it's $5 cover night for women. Come sing the song and dance. Only $5.
Yeah, literally, here's a special edition in a nutshell.
Crap, okay, crap.
Bring us another obscure character. Man, we're gonna make millions.
Hey, at least the Empire Strikes Back did start a trend. You have to have a Boba Fett for every trilogy. Yeah, Captain Phasma for Disney. You have Darth Maul for the original. And you have Boba Fett himself, or the prequel, and then Boba Fett for himself for the originals. Nothing like turning that character into an actual meme.
I know. You know what? And one of my favorite characters from the new trilogy, I love Finn. But Finn did not get the screen time and the respect that he deserved. By the end of the third movie, he had become a meme where it was just Rey.
Okay, does anybody but me think that he had a better connection with Poe than Rey, and that he should have ended up with Poe, or was it just me?
No, I will agree with you on that one. I ship Finn and Poe.
My little foe. He's my foe.
And I almost get, you know what? I almost get the feeling that woman that was introduced in the third movie, the Daft Punk chick or whatever, I get the feeling they only added her to like specifically push that fandom away. Like, oh, that could never happen. Look, he likes girls. Here's a reminder. He likes girls. You know?
No.
Finn deserved more. He really did. Finn deserved more.
Richard's just sitting there. Richard.
No, I'm reading about it's not technically the 4K edition. It's actually another 2D version of it. So.
I'll be honest. Poe and Finn had a better relationship than Rey and Kylo.
Oh, definitely. Well, Finn and Rey had a better.
Fans were like, "Oh, they can't." Who cares?
Well, even Finn and Rey had a better relationship. I mean, at least like when you saw Finn look at Rey, you're like, "Oh, he likes her." Same thing with Poe. And it would have made sense, but it's just like, hey, you know what? Let's take this guy who murdered her idol, her hero, and let's find a way for them to fall in love.
Okay, I'm sorry. The only reason why Finn saw Rey is she was like, a woman outside of a uniform.
This is true.
Lovely.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I had never really thought about that before because
since I was that little.
Yeah. What are those?
Yeah, but those three trilogy are going away. Haven't you heard the rumors?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Can we just bring back Timothy Zahn's books then? Could Disney realize that they messed up by taking away our extended universe? Because, let's face it, all right, the first movie, I know a lot of people had a problem with it because it rehashed the original trilogy, but I thought it was a good idea just because it allowed a generation to see the nerds like us who are like, oh my god, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually got to feel the way we felt watching our movies as kids. Go ahead.
A Force Awakens was 35 to 40% for us, 60 to 70% for the new generation. It was for them, but enough for us to enjoy it. And I completely agree with you. That movie was for the next generation. I agree with that, and I had no problem with that.
The second movie, there was good ideas in there. I liked the fact that Rey had no parents. And it's like, nah, your parents were nobody. Anybody could be force sensitive. Anybody could have this possibility. It isn't based off of who your parents are, which is kind of something that started getting instilled to us as we went along with the Skywalkers. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, but the problem was the way he set up the movie felt very disjointed from the first movie, and they didn't feel like they were part of the same trilogy.
Yeah. They weren't. The second movie legitimately felt like he went through and got shitty about all the stuff that was done in the first movie, and like legitimately went through and
No.
Well, yeah, it would make sense to do this, but I
like this idea from the prequel. No, not that. Don't put that in there.
Yeah.
Who loves the prequels?
And then the third one just retconned the hell out of that one, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I
haven't gotten to do it yet, but I had read something online that somebody who had introduced their kids to Star Wars, not our friend Richard, but when they did the trilogy as almost like an experiment, they showed their kids the first movie, A Force Awakens, and then The Last Jedi, completely skipping the second one, and they said the kids didn't miss a beat.
you don't miss a beat, but the fact that who we are and the type of fans that we are will take apart anything that's brought to our way. You put Cheetos and you put Star Wars on it, you're going to be like, that doesn't taste very intergalactical. I mean, you would tear Cheetos apart, for criminy sakes, and they're Cheetos.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's who we are. We're Star Wars fanatics. That's in our DNA.
This doesn't taste like blue milk.
Okay, that whole Luke Skywalker thing in that second movie was, no, that's not who he is.
Yeah.
That's never who he was. And I really wish Disney would realize, yeah, we took the really cool parts from the Timothy Zahn books, except for we left out Luke's wife, and we kind of messed it all up. Our bad. Here, buy the Timothy Zahn books. They're great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know Disney could say whatever they want, but me as a Star Wars fan, you have really nice fanfic there, and it's great, but I'm going to stick with the extended universe.
They missed a gigantic opportunity to bring Mara Jade to the public eyes, because even through the books and fanfic, that is a beloved character that ranks up there with even like the canonically, Rose, the canonically popular characters. I mean, she is right up there.
I mean, if you really think about it, their strong female character of Rey has a lot of her personalities and a lot of her quirks. And tying her to the Emperor is like having Mara Jade, who was tied to the Emperor.
Right.
So again, they took a lot of the Timothy Zahn ideas, they just fracked them up, putting them into their movies and not doing it right, and making now Leia the only girl that Luke ever kissed.
Oh God!
Think about it.
Oh my God! That's no.
Did you miss that? Have you missed that?
Oh my God! No. Luke did not die a virgin.
Oh yes, he did. Oh yes, he did.
Well, he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi. He's not supposed to have a
No. Let's be honest. That form. Let's be honest and let's be real and let's be grown ups. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it like this. That boy was pulling down mad puss after he got that medal around his neck.
At the same point in time, we've already knew, because based off of Anakin, a real true master of the Force is the one who can use their emotion to use the Force, but not let it take over.
Yeah, it's the balance. That's what a Skywalker is.
But remember, Luke
was a Skywalker.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, Luke didn't really have any... The idea of him really having any training or the notion of him wasn't mentioned until Empire. I find it very hard to believe that the moment after Leia put that medallion around him and everybody went like this, a party, that he had 2 or 3 chicks on each arm. Come on, that farm boy. Oh he actually
spent a lot of his time running from Daddy Dearest and getting his ass kicked by Leia.
I know that, but it wasn't like he got the medal and hopped on it like, fuck it, let's go to Dagobah. There was ample time between Yavin and her.
Yeah, but Han came in and went, and thank you. I'm hotter, I'm older, and you have a car wreck to go get into. Have a nice day.
Bullshit. If anybody was Luke Skywalker's wingman, it was Han Solo, because Han wanted Leia and he thought there was going to be something. So he introduced him to those 2 Belwakians, like, oh, kid, forget the princess. Check out this chick. She's got 4 jugs. Like, oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Han Solo set him up with more chicks than anything.
They were just
because he wanted Leia for himself. He taught Luke how to smuggle that spice.
Did you have you ever read Splinter of the Mind's Eye?
I have.
Oh my God. Seriously, if you read Splinter of the Mind's Eye and then you think about Return of the Jedi when Vader's fighting Luke and Vader's like, sister, you have a sister. Maybe we'll turn it. All Luke had to go is, dude, it's Leia. And Vader would have been like, Never mind. Scratch that idea. No. We ain't getting that one. No.
Yeah.
There was no need for Luke to get that upset.
Dad, I gotta tell you about this hot chick I made out with. Oh yeah, what's she like? Well, she's a princess. Time out. What's her name, son? What planet did... Oh, Luke, no.
Yeah, remember though, even he didn't know that was his daughter at that time, so he's just like...
Yeah.
Could you be like, I just want to see that shot redone with Luke telling Vader that Leia's his sister, and Darth Vader like, wait, so they put you on Tatooine, but she got to go live on Alderaan, become a princess, I've been torturing her, she's not a whiny little bitch like you. Boy, you got the short end of the stick.
And you're the chosen one? How did you end up the chosen one? You can't lead a bunch of Jawas through the desert. Meanwhile, she's princess of an entire planet.
And working for the Senate, and stealing Death Star plans. Dude, you suck, son.
Yeah.
And that's the only nice thing. The only thing that I really appreciated in the last movie was the Princess of Alderaan. Even Palpatine's like, that woman, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Always got female problems going on.
He got 99 problems and the princess is one.
Is most definitely one of them. Yes. So they're gonna come out. I'll be honest, I'm not gonna go watch it in the theaters. I have this really cool invention called a VHS, and I have this on this really cool invention called VCR, and it's original.
Talk amongst yourself. I have something Star Wars related I want to share. Talk amongst yourselves. The Industrial Revolution. Neither industrial nor revolutionary. Discuss.
But does Richard actually know how to talk?
Yeah,
I haven't heard a word from him since I got here.
He had to go to the bathroom, probably.
So,
how's Amanda doing?
Amanda's doing great. We got affiliated on Twitch. We got some emoticons. I'm sorry that I couldn't get a hold of you, so your logo's not on one of the emoticons.
Okay.
It just has Gym City Champions, Sean, and Rodney's. But we've got 3 emoticons up on the Facebook page that we're asking people to vote for right now. So we could decide which tier they are for subscribers only on our Twitch channel now that we're allowed to get subscribers and make some money. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can go to my Twitch channel and do it for absolutely free, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you still pay me so I can continue making podcasts and live gameplay.
That's awesome.
Nice plug.
Hey,
what do you have for me?
Well, speaking of plugs, because you had just mentioned them, our friend Rodney Fike, me and Richard have talked about, I know you're feeling it because, there not being any cons or anything going on right now. It's just like nerds across America are just like going through withdrawal, it's just like, but, real recently, I know. Very recently, Rodney Fike, I've been watching a lot of his live podcast, him and Sean. Rodney did a video here not too long ago of one of his sketches for a sketch cover that he was going to sell through his website, and I saw it. And I purchased it.
Yeah,
I did. And what's nice is, especially since my work schedule flows so much, I hardly ever get to watch anything live, but I get to watch them, later on. And when I saw Rodney doing this one, he had made a Facebook post about DM me, for details, and it was just like, shut up and take my money.
I think
and it was great.
Cassie got the one before that. She was my secretary. She's normally the one who runs my tables, but now she's actually gaming with us on the channel.
Oh, right on. What are you eating?
I'm not eating. I'm vaping. It's just plugged in.
Oh, vape 5.
But well, I can give you a lowdown, and you, Richard, this actually might be a good thing for your show. Get Sean and Rodney on, because they now have this thing called Friday Night Draw, where they draw together every Friday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. You should definitely talk to them about how they're collaborating to bring more interest in times like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And Rodney also started a new show on Thursdays at 8 p.m. called Hasm Presents.
Yep. I follow Rodney on Facebook. I follow the R Rodney Fight, and I just like a day or so ago got the invite to the Hasm page, which I need to get on, because now that I know I can get all the issues of Peanut Pudding and Jelly online, I got some catching up to do.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was great, because what I loved about this is especially since I have the video of his, bookmarked. This isn't, this isn't a print. This is, you look carefully enough at this.
Yeah,
it's the real print. And it's awesome, because I can look at this and I can watch the video of him creating this at the right time. And I know you were a big help when it came to getting Gym City and all that stuff,
honey,
going on.
No. That was me in 2 hours' time putting that.
Yeah.
There was no help. I did it by myself. There was no Jesse involved or anything like that. I went behind Jesse's back. I put it together. Then I went, "Hey, Jesse, do you think this is a good idea?" He goes, "Do you think you could put it together?" I was like, "Oh, hey, Jesse, I already did it. It's done.
I've done it already. Live."
Like, Jesse didn't get an answer to yes or no. He didn't give me an answer. He wasn't allowed. Like, there was no choice. I pulled everything that I had, pulling the people that I had. I used, because this year I just got promoted to panel manager on top of all the other management staffs that I have there. Yay. So now I'm the volunteer coordinator, the showrunner, the panel manager, the social media director.
What does Jesse do again?
He's a figurehead. He contacts the big name people, and then I deal with them at the show.
But for someone like me, it was almost a mixed blessing, because I was so upset and heartbroken when I'd heard that not only Gym City, but cons across not only Ohio but across the world were being canceled. I was heartbroken, but at the same time I could hear my wallet going, "Oh, thank Jesus." Just my wallet was like, "Give me 1 year. Give me 1 year with no cons." But then all of a sudden, all these people whose artwork and stuff I buy from anyways are advertising their stuff live on Facebook on videos and stuff, and it's just like, I'll take that sketch, and I'll take that sketch, and I don't know if I showed you. Remember, Richard, what was it the other week? I showed you that one print I bought from Yale Stewart of the JL8.
Right.
I just got my Ghostbuster one a couple days ago from Yale Stewart. I don't know if you can see the detail is so great, because if you look at the armband and the proton pack, those are straight up renditions of the real Ghostbusters. And look at little Peter up there laying game down on Dana with her little cello poster up there. And where is it? Yeah. The minute I saw that one, it was another one where it's like, smack, add to cart. So yeah,
thank God he still has his job.
Because it's kind of like, Richard, remember how we talked about like the big cons I can go to and not spend a dime? It's the smaller ones. There are no cons, and I'm still spending a shit ton of money.
So what you're saying is I should go ahead and do my own little con that has all of my new glow-in-the-dark Star Wars dice bags?
Yeah, probably. I bought your damn pillow from you. I still have that one. The so long and thanks for all the fish. I still have that one.
Oh yes. Well, we have a new dice bag. It's about yay big. It's original Star Wars and the Stormtrooper and the Imperial symbol glow in the dark.
Cool.
At least send me the link. At least send me the link to it because even if I don't, I have enough D&D gamer friends that buy that stuff like crazy that would love that bag.
I'll make sure that I send you something over on Facebook.
Good Lord, what are you... Man, I'm over here huffing huge clouds and I'm all right. She's over here like, oh my God, you're fucking stoned out of your gourd, aren't you?
No. Drunk.
Drunk, yeah, I'll agree. Drunk.
I'm a It's wonderful. Unlike YouTube and Twitch, I can drink all I want live as long as I'm
there you go, Richard. There you go. I knew it.
And they pay me for it. They pay me for it. It's lovely.
There's our new podcast, Richard. Drunken Geekery. Okay, let me tell you something. Luke Skywalker was smashing so much ass. He was crushing on Yavin.
Also, I don't use the vape very often, so I'm only using it because you're using yours and you're making me have cravings, and so it's your fault.
Oh, man.
Just blame it on Mike.
Normally people do. Oh!
I have my stuff to set me up so I get notifications when any of my sponsors do something. So while I was over supporting Sean and Rodney with the Friday night draw, I got a notification that some idiots were doing something Star Wars related and I wasn't invited.
Well, we didn't know we was going to do this until like an hour ago.
Legitimately, like I said, I don't know if you heard me earlier. Up until yesterday, I thought I was going to be working tonight, which is why I got to tell you this story, Richard. This is why I love and I will love and support and always advocate your local comic book store. What was it last weekend? I don't know why, but I volunteered to work Saturday morning overtime. And I didn't think about it, but I'm like, yeah, when I get off work, I'll drive into town, get my comic books, come home, it'll be nice. Not realizing that because of everything going on, I'd forgotten that Alter Ego had changed their hours. So when I pulled up in front of the building and the lights were off, I legitimately wept. I'm like, I'd been looking. It was like all day Saturday, work sucked. I had that one thing in my head, I'm going to get my comic books. It's going to be all right. I'm going to get my comic. Then when I pulled up there and I saw that sign off, but here it was a couple days later, our friend Jared, who works like Saturdays in there at Alter Ego, Richard, you remember Jared?
Yeah, I remember Jared.
Yeah, he got a hold of me. Is everything okay? And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, what does he? No. My first thought was, does he know something I don't know? Because, he's part of our Heroes for Hope group. I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, well, we didn't see you Saturday. Is everything all right? And I was just like, oh, yeah, man. I work. He goes, all right. I was just checking on you. See, that's why I will always support my online, my in-store brick and mortar comic book stores, For somebody like me, when I don't show up for a day, people think I'm dead. Which, if I do die by myself, it will be the comic book store that notifies my family. Like, have you heard from Mike? It's been 3 weeks. Now, we know he doesn't talk to you. He hasn't picked up his pool
yet. I haven't seen a Lego post on his Facebook page in like 3 days, so we think there's something wrong.
That's how you will know. That's how you will know. But
you don't think I pay attention?
Yeah,
Amanda, I know.
It's so bad. I was going to say something smartass, but there's a brand new Lego set sitting in my chair right now, waiting for this podcast to be over for me to get building. Oh, man.
By the way, have you heard? Meth gators! For the win.
Wait, what?
Why? Meth gators! People are flushing meth down the toilet and gators are...
Oh, yeah.
Meth gators for the win in July! Yay!
What was the one I had down? I had the, What was it? It wasn't the meth gators. It was the things that were coming up on that, like, were walking on land now. It's like, oh god, it was.
Funniest meme is scientists find undiscovered creatures and plug that thing back up. Plug it up right now.
Now is not. This is not the year. This is not the year. A new tomb was found in Egypt. Do not open it.
Just please.
Like, for God's sake.
Please don't. We've got sandstorms. We've got coronavirus. We got an idiot president. We have riots. We have.
Here's what scares me about the sandstorms. Y'all ever watch Dune? You know what sandstorms bring.
What is it? I think after
remember, walk in an unrhythmic. I am so terrified right now of the sandworms from Dune. I walk in an irregular pattern, just not to attract the sandworms, just in case. There's the man. I do what I can to protect myself. I wear the mask and I walk unrhythmically.
You need to come play a video game I play called Ark Survival. There's death worms.
No.
There is something I legitimately want to ask you, Amanda. It's a game question. Have you played, or do you know anybody that started to play The Last of Us 2 yet?
I have not. I know a few people who have. I might have watched somebody play some of it.
Well, the reason why I asked is because The Last of Us is one of my favorite games. It's an amazing game. The story, it was a heart-wrenching game. And
I never finished it.
Oh, I love that game. I never
watched it because I wanted to play it. We started playing it during the 24-hour live stream last year. And during the stealth mission, I threw a break and just started jumping on the zombies and go, ah! So that is not my thing. But I do know some of this game, yes. And I know the controversy around it.
Thank you. I don't care about the controversy, but I have, as of to date, I don't think I've read reviews that were so polarizing for a video game, because I've been waiting for this game for a long time, and it was barely out a week when I'd heard both sides that it was like a fantastic, amazing game, and like the polar opposite. Like, this game is horrible. It's bad. It's just garbage, you know. And I'm like,
no.
So I picked it up today. I traded in a bunch of games that I'm not playing anymore. So at least I didn't actually spend any money on it. But
how far are you?
Man, today legitimately just loaded it. Tomorrow is going to be my day. That game was like Final Fantasy, where I don't want to just play it for 45 minutes here and there. I want to sit down and be able to play it. So tomorrow morning, I am legitimately going to start playing The Last of Us 2. But I had just wondered, and the weird thing is, Amanda, some of the stuff that I'd heard.
Stop, Richard. Get him tissues, like a box of like.
I heard.
Like,
I heard about
hoard tissues, like people hoarded toilet paper for this man. I'm warning you.
I think I don't want any spoilers for sure, but I've been told to be prepared for what I think I know is going to happen. And
here's the thing with this game: you're either going to like it or you're not,
or hate it.
There's no in between. And I would tell you why I think a lot of people don't like the game, but I think that ends up spoiling it because it spoils how the game ends. So I can't really.
It has nothing to do with Ellie being gay, right? Because I legitimately don't give two shits about it. And no, that's not the controversy, right?
Nothing to do with that. No. It's just the way how the game ends.
Okay. Gotcha.
And again, even going, is it a happy ending or a not happy ending? Even giving that away will give away how this game works. So I can't even tell you if it's a happy ending or a non-happy ending, because The one thing is this does do a kind of a Return of the King thing where you're like, oh, this is the ending, and you're like, no, it's not.
Oh, okay, I got you. And that's fine because it was the same reason why when I first started playing the Final Fantasy remake, I'd asked a friend of mine because
that was okay.
Anybody who I really liked it, but my question was because I knew that they'd split the game up. Was I asked them is like because one of the most beloved scenes in Final Fantasy is when the character Aerith dies, and I kept asking him, does it happen in this game? He's like, I'm not telling you. He would not tell me. And I mean, that I'm glad he didn't because, spoiler, you've probably played it because I see you shaking your head. She didn't die in this game. But I kind of wish I'd have known because that might have, like, I was constantly expecting it, like any minute now, like, oh, that thing's going to get her or that thing's going to get her. But
here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. It's not. I don't think it really holds the same candle as the original does, in my opinion. I think the original is still better. Yes, this has very pretty graphics. Yeah, some of the QuickTime stuff was like, really? Okay. But I don't know. Some of the story arcs just felt better in the original than this remake. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. Final Fantasy VII is a classic by all means.
Yeah.
We've been dying for a remake. Right, but then again, I don't know. There's just something about, I was dying for a Final Fantasy VII remake, and meh. And sort of like how I was dying for a Disney Kingdom Hearts 3, and it kind of went meh.
I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that was pretty lackluster.
So it's like, I don't want anything anymore.
I know. See, that was my thing. Is when I went to I just finished
your show. We're not even talking Star Wars anymore. Oh, you can put BB-8 in Star Wars Battlefront 2 now. There you go. I just typed it. Star Wars. I did it. Yo, the master.
Well, hey, wait. Speaking of Star Wars, did you play The Fallen Order?
Okay, I don't play single people game. One, I don't have the time to play a game for a single person game with all the stuff that I do. And two, me trying to interact with people, like Markiplier is fantastic. And Ray Navarez is fantastic being able to talk to people while he's playing the game. If I'm playing a game and I am by myself, this is me. Oh, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah.
When it's with my crew, it's entertainment. I don't care. Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that's the biggest difference between me and you is you don't like single player games, and I don't like I just can't play multiplayer games.
I didn't say I didn't like single player games. I don't have the time. I feel that anytime I pick this up, especially now that I get paid from Twitch and I have subscribers, that it is my duty to stream it. It's
I got you.
Responsibility. And since I consider myself more of an entertainer than a game, I'm not a professional gamer. You're never going to see somebody go, oh yeah, I got to get Amanda from AGP to be on my 4th. That's never going to happen. They may go, hey, can I play with Amanda in Dead by Daylight? At least she gets people off the hook, but that's about it. No one's calling me up, hey, we got a Rainbow Six Siege tournament. No, that...
Yeah, I've been down to the EA game tournaments in Columbus. I've seen those guys. Those guys are crazy.
So I consider myself more of an entertainer because I don't play the game to be the best. I play the game to do something stupid.
I got you.
And I will do something stupid. Like, we were playing, and I was like, I'm going to die anyway in this game. So I just walked up behind the killer and went, hey, excuse me. Hello. Killer turns around. What are you doing down there? I'm an entertainer.
Hey, something else real quick. We didn't get to do a podcast last week, Rich, so me and you are 2 episodes behind. Amanda, have you been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Okay, now it's me and Richard's time to talk. Okay. Dude, the black and white episode was awesome.
Right.
That was really cool. The black and white episode was really cool, and it really fit the mood for that. I have really been enjoying this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. I think this week was like the best.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree. It was the stuff with Mac. Oh my God, man! With his parents. And then, May's like, I don't feel anything from him. It was like, right. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, when he had to like throw the mom out, that was crazy.
Oh my God, that was heartbreaking. And then just having Patrick Warburton back, man, I love that guy, man. I'll watch him in anything.
And then Coulson at the end. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen this week's episode, but
that was awesome, and where he was just like, "That's my superpower." I was like, "Oh, damn!" And I like great. You got to give May a grain of salt, because like right now, when she's around him, she has no emotions, but like she just went right to the point, like, "You never die. It never sticks." Like she found the elephant in the room, and not only did she call out the elephant, like she jumped on its back and wrote it out, like, "You never die. It never sticks." It's like, oh, shit. Like you know what I would really like, Richard? Like for the final episode to just go 110% meta, where something happens and the ship jumps into our universe and they learn that they're actually a TV show. They're like, yeah, Clark Gregg over there is one of our favorite actors. Of course we're not like, and May would just be like, makes sense. That's the only explanation, is we're a TV show.
That would be crazy to end it that way.
Oh, man, it's not so far-fetched. I mean, Supernatural did one episode like that where Sam and Dean through a demon portal ended up in our dimension, where it was a TV show. So
and they did that on Legends.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, they did. But that would be great. Yes, then May would be like, that explains so much. But yeah, this last week was really good. The stuff.
Amanda's back. Hey.
By the way, you may have your baby Yoda. I got this for my birthday.
Oh, that's Rodney, right?
Yes, it is.
I love the fact that I didn't see. That was my first time seeing that.
I know. This is a one of a kind, one of a piece, done by Rodney for me for my birthday. Isn't it nice to have sponsors?
And I love the fact that I know his work well enough that I knew that was a Rodney Fike original just by looking at it. Oh, what else is there, Rick? Hey, oh my God, I have a comic book to talk about, Richard. It's been forever since we got to talk about a comic book.
What
do you remember those
book?
Remember the paper thing with the funnies in them?
Oh, you mean those, and the 25 boxes.
It's not even a Marvel or DC book, which I found out recently, Richard. Marvel's pissing me off because, how do I put it? The last miniseries that they had for Ant-Man. Don't you talk to the hand me. Don't you talk to the hand me.
My camera about fell off.
I get you.
Sorry about that. My camera was falling.
But I just found out that the last Ant-Man miniseries and the last Hawkeye, that they are not going to release the last issues in print. You can only get the individual issues digitally, but they are going to release the graphic novels of both of those miniseries, which means I'm going to have to buy both of them to know how the goddamn story ends. But I digress. One of the books I had been looking... What?
So does it upset you any?
A little bit. If we'd have been halfway through the story, I'd have been fine. Don't do that to me on the last issue. That's just ghetto. But speaking of the last issue, one of one of the books I'd been reading before the quarantine that I really enjoyed was from IDW. It was one of the Ghostbuster books.
Oh.
It was Ghostbusters. It was a miniseries they called Year One. And what was really great about it is it took place that very first year after Gozer the Garzarian and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And it was really interesting the way they did it. The whole story revolved around an author or a journalist who was tapped to write a book about the Ghostbusters, like their kind of like unofficial biography, to give the world a better chance to better get to know the Ghostbusters. So each issue was her interview with that character, like she met Winston, and which was freaking great because we got to see a lot more of, it, like, the reporter was like legitimately like shocked. She's like, you literally just went in and had an interview and they hired you right there. He's like, yeah, I just went in for a job and I got hired, And then we got to learn about Ray and his backstory. The last one I just got to pick up today was Ghostbusters Year One, issue 4, that focused on Egon. And what was really cool about it, one of the best moments in it is, now keep in mind, this takes place barely a year after the first movie, so it's it's canon. When she goes to talk to him, Winston leads her to him. You get to see that the firehouse is still destroyed from the containment union being destroyed, and the city of New York has put out a police officer in front because they don't want anybody looting the place. But and it was even great because
will take place in between the movie and then the cartoon series, because the cartoon series kind of takes place right after the events of the first movie.
Yes and no. I know what you're talking about because in the one episode they showed the flashback where the Ghostbusters still covered in marshmallow. Oh, I have the action figure. I actually have the Spectral Ghostbusters action figure, so I definitely know what you're talking about. No, this is
do that to explain why all of their outfits, they ended up changing their outfits and why the outfits look different in the cartoon series versus the movie. It's because they were contaminated.
Right. But the comic book through IDW, I don't want to say ignores the real Ghostbusters, but they're a different universe because they have done a crossover before between the movie universe Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters. And actually Ninja Turtles too. It was a fucking killer book. But yeah, it was like, and what was great was because like Egon only agreed to do the interview to get the money because the firehouse needed repaired, and she flat out calls. I really recommend, especially I know when this one comes out for trade, I really recommend getting it because this is a really good book because the reporter lady actually kind of calls Egon out. She's like, well, it exploded when the power got shut down. Didn't that seem like kind of a stupid thing to happen? We have blackouts in New York. And Egon was like legitimately like, oh, well, we weren't, like you could hear him backpedaling in the dialogue. Like, oh, well, it was so full. We didn't know what to do, but it really was. It was a great book. And it answers the question. Now, why, after everything exploded, why Slimer came back. So how like in the second movie Slimer's, hanging at the firehouse. You get to find out why. I know. But no, I really for Ghostbusters fans, I really do recommend this one. The fourth issue just came out.
Question.
So I'm sure yes.
Does it explain
from the lady?
Ooh, does it what? Egon has brunette hair instead of blonde.
Yes. No. No. That is Harold Ramis. That's Harold Ramis. All of them. All of them bear a very, very nice. Oh yeah, see there he is with the Twinkie.
I understand this, but he's blonde.
and there he is with the power drill. Huh? Now that's a nice joke right there.
Yes.
But no. These books are canon, directly canon from the movie.
They look really good.
They are.
At $3.99, that's actually a really great buy. It looks like they have multiple covers for each one.
And the artist who does it is. I'm one of those people where there's only a few artists and creators that I really know. Like right away, like Scotty Young is one of them. If you put up anything Scotty Young in front of me, I know right away it's Scotty Young, and I will buy anything Scotty Young. One of the other ones is I can never say his name. Dan Schillinger.
Just call him Dapper Dan. That's what he's known as.
Dapper Dan. I love his work. He's another one of those guys that I can pick out his work and I will buy just about anything I follow him on he still even has a DeviantArt account where he'll release some of his original stuff or the stuff that's getting ready to be re-released before it hits the stands. And he's been tied to the Ghostbuster books since like day one, and I love his work.
It has nothing, and it could be the reason why one of his profile pictures is him in a Ghostbuster suit with his actual name.
Mm-hmm. I know. I love that.
I've actually been dying to meet somebody who might have seen this cartoon. Did you ever get to see the Extreme Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. No. Extreme Ghostbusters was absolutely fantastic, especially for its time. Inventive in the fact that what? Tell me.
It was the 90s. It had to be extreme because everything was extreme. Okay, we had extreme Mountain Dew and extreme X-Men and extreme regardless
of the title, you have to admit, it was kind of ahead of its time. All right?
I'll give you that. I will say this.
First off, Garrett.
One of the two things that got me to actually give that show a try was when I found out that it was a continuation from the real Ghostbusters, that Egon was there. And I don't know how to say it, but when I saw the one character, I think it was Garrett, the one in the wheelchair, I was just like, that's pretty,
and
that was pretty dope.
They had the first female who actually was so popular that she's actually shown up in some of the Ghostbusters comics, Kylie.
Yeah. Was it Carly? Kylie. She was the one in the current IDW books. It was, I think her new interpretation was, was the way they introduced her into the comic books was Ray still owned Ray's Occult's books, and she ran the store for him while he was a Ghostbuster. And when they realized they needed help, that they needed to bring in some fresh blood, Ray was just like, I have the perfect candidate. Her, and I agree. She has made many
pretty much the same too.
They really did. Oh, this is the flashback. I'll have to dig through the books, but yeah, the hair and the personality. They really did keep that to her.
I think Extreme Ghostbusters, the problem with it is it just came out when the Ghostbusters was, everybody was like, He-Man. Ghostbusters 2 reference.
Yeah. And I mean, that was on the very tail end of it, when even the real Ghostbusters, when it was less the real Ghostbusters and it was Slimer
and the Ghostbusters. Yes.
That was, and now I'll admit, when I found out that either Netflix or Hulu was streaming all of the Ghostbusters, I went through the first couple seasons, and then I'm like, well, I remember these. For some reason, I don't remember the later ones. So I started watching like the last couple seasons.
And Slimer.
Those are hard to watch.
They made
those
Slimer and it was just no. It was better when Slimer was the side character. Every now and again, got on Venkman's ass, and Venkman wanted to like choke him out. But other than that, no. Slimer is like no. He shouldn't. No.
Yeah. He was the ootsy cutesy cousin Oliver, you know, just
taking the movie and going, yeah, Hoggle's the main character. No.
Yeah. No. We're gonna do the entire movie about Dobby.
Oh, sure.
I knew that one would. Yeah.
Oops, spoilers.
Yeah. But other than that, God, there hasn't been anything else really. We're still in that dry spell right now.
Richard, you're unfocused. Richard, you're blurry. Richard.
There we go.
There you go. I like how you're lit. Like Mike's is like, hey, look how bright my room is. Blah. Mine's like, hey, here's a little bit of light. You can see me. Richard's like, if I hide in the shadows, no one can see me. He's like Gollum. Richard.
In my defense, it's only one. In my defense, it's only one light, but it's the glare from my bald head now that makes it look like 1,000 Lumieres.
Maybe you could get a job in Hollywood. They use water to get more light in a lot of scenes. Maybe they can use your head instead.
I'm gunning for John Cryer's. I'm gunning for John Cryer's stunt double. I will take a fall in a 3-piece suit for that man. Like Mike in this scene, don't care. I'll jump off the building. Like, we didn't even put him in a harness. I love you, Lex. On
the bright side, then you'll get more words than "Hi, I'm here, Richard" when you do your own shows.
Oh.
Mike, where were you last champion? I destroyed poor Richard. I was so mean.
I think I was working, wasn't I, Richard?
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you had to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how the fact that the very first one I bombed so hard because I only had like a week to prep for it, and now I spend most of the year coming up with the most horrible, disgusting things I can say about people during those roasts. I went from God, she sucks to oh my gosh, she's brutal. Don't let her up there. I love being the bitch. So
Star Wars. So has anybody seen Star Wars? I mean,
what is this? What's this Star Wars you speak of? I've never heard of it.
Is there? Wasn't that part of the space program back in the 80s?
Yeah, Ronald came up with that.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, man, this kind of ties in, speaking of gaming and everything, the release of some of the footage from the new PlayStation 5. Oh, come on. That stuff looks incredible.
I am not getting PS5.
I will be there day one, buddy.
And I'll tell you why. It's not to be compatible with everything that I have bought for my PS4 due to the fact that it does not even have near the memory that my PS4 Pro has. It doesn't even have a full terabyte of memory. And it's because they're doing a personal SSD card, so my external hard drive that has 172 games that I have purchased through PlayStation does not be compatible with it. I have to buy an SSD card and then transfer all of that over to their specific SSD card, made specifically for the PS5. You can kiss my fat ass. Not that I'm fucking opinionated on this.
So Sonic the Hedgehog.
They'll go ahead and make it compatible. They will. They do this every time.
If they want my money, they better.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
And trust me, I know they know I'm upset about it because they follow me on Twitter, and I've already had to say what I had to say on Twitter, and I You gonna follow me on Twitter? You gonna try this? No.
They don't have to follow you. They can hear you in person from their offices. Close the window. She's ranting again. I am though. The two games that I'm really looking forward to is there's going to be a new Star Wars game. Yep. The other ones are the Miles Morales Spider-Man I'm really looking forward to. But I got to be honest, the one that I just recently heard about that has me more excited than the other ones was the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yes.
No. I'm telling you, honestly, this is how much I'm looking forward to that game. When the system comes out, if it comes down...
Horizon Forbidden West or something like that?
Yeah, Horizon, where they're taking the story, and because we only got to see a small part of the country, in that game, and they're expanding west. If it comes down to it, even if it's just money wise, if there's one game if I can only buy one game when that game system comes out, it's going to be that one. I am that looking forward to that game. I know they're just cutscenes and everything, but. I know they're just cutscenes, but oh, god damn it! You mentioned that one's going to be. That looked really. Oh my god! I know this is true. That was the first. That was the first game I bought for the PS4 too. Was Ratchet and Clank.
Even when they redid it, it got the new background and things like that because they did the movie based off of it. I still loved it. It's still Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, the movie was cute too. I watched it. It was good. It was entertaining. Yeah.
I will say this. Yeah. When it came to watching their games, the one that got me the most that I went, it's a what? Was the Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't see it coming. I was like, okay, number 7, cool, 8, what? Resident Evil. What?
Yeah.
Since when? Since when are there werewolves in Resident Evil? Since when?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. There's still no. I mean. It could very well be backwards compatible because, I mean, we still actually know very little about the system. We don't know when it's actually going to be released. We don't know how much it's going to be. The only thing I do know is there are going to be 2 different versions of it available. One that will take physical media like a disc or the drive, or the strictly streamlined digital only version.
Okay, so... the PS5 is supposed to be backwards compatible, but only with the PS4 library.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and that's great and all, and I understand why they would do it with the PS4 library because that's what most people have. But still, my biggest problem with this is the fact that it does have to have the SSD storage. That'd be great, except for the fact that I've spent so much money on buying a 5 terabyte hard drive for my PS4. I don't think they understand. A normal, hey, I play video games, that's great. I stream your shit for a living.
Yeah.
I have 198 games I have purchased from you.
Now what am I going to do with them? I got to do all this transfer stuff.
I'm transferring all of that data. It takes forever for that shit to update as it is. That's not happening.
I know. It's a pain in the ass when I can't find a song on Spotify and I got to download it off my computer. I'm like, 5 minutes? Kiss my ass. I ain't got time for 5 minutes. Just, and I can only imagine for games. That's, God, man.
And the thing is, if you're downloading or you're doing an update, you can't play a game while you're doing that because it doesn't matter if your hardwire is going to be like,
yeah.
Well, that's why.
Well, see, that's why I haven't gotten to sit down and play The Last of Us 2 yet, because I had it planned out. I'm like, I know I'm going to be talking to Richard later. That's going to eat up at least an hour, or the way we are, too. Shocker. I'm going to put that disc in, let it load, and I'll see you Saturday morning. And I haven't heard it ding yet, so it's still going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and because everybody makes fun of me, they're like, and it's so funny because with the rest of the crew, they're like, oh, my game didn't download. How long before your game's downloaded? My game's downloaded. When did you start? Tuesday morning as soon as the download starts. What did you do? Have all my games on start downloading, or else we'll be here till 2022.
That second, yeah.
And the first ones I do is I pause all the other ones. And we're not playing you this week. 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 Let's get these done first, and then the rest of you could go back up. There's 4 pause now because I haven't had a chance to do it. Because while we're doing this, I'm supporting Sean. So on my PS4, we're playing his Twitch stream that he's doing right now. Because I'm trying to help him get affiliated with Twitch. And that's all. I'm just like, well, nope, those are still going to be on hold.
Oh, man.
Not to mention, I don't need a new console. If you have a PS4, but by now you should have a Pro. If you don't have a Pro, there's something wrong with you.
I don't have a Pro.
Once you go Pro, and that's the other thing now that I know that they'll do a Pro version of the PS5, I'm not wasting my time on a regular PS5.
I'm the same way.
It's gonna have the better built-in fan. It's gonna have the better memory. They're gonna fix everything that everybody bitches and complains about. So they may end up allowing me to have my 5 terabyte specifically designed extra hard drive. Yeah. It's not like a hard drive where I have like this big thing. No, this is a gaming hard drive for games this big right there. And let's face it, it all really depends on how many USB things I have, because I have like there's the headset, there's the cooling system underneath it. Since I play my PS4 for so long, I still keep a cooling pad like you do a laptop underneath it, just to be on the safe side. There's the external hard drive in there, and that takes up the Pro's 3 USB drives. I want more.
Yeah, and a splitter's not going to cut it, because it won't have the juice to power all that other stuff too.
Because there's nothing worse than having to cut a stream short because your controller died.
That was. Oh my God.
Why are you? Speaking of, we should go ahead and charge you. We have a live stream in 45 minutes. By the way, I just proved I do play video games. It's on. Not like those other girls that are like, yes, look, I'm playing the game. No, you're not. The light is stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be Tracer. Shut the hell up.
Oh, man.
I had to. I mean, I get it. It is a parody or something like that. But if you're going to go full committed to the parody, turn your stupid controller on. Make it look. If you're going to put on that much of an outfit to do this, turn your stupid controller on.
That or be holding an Xbox controller and be playing a PlayStation exclusive game. Like, oh, we're 5 hours into Ratchet and Clank. Like, wait a minute.
Hey guys, I got this hero down packed, no problem. Oh wait. And trust me, the same complaint that I have about the PS5 is the same complaint that I have about the new Xbox series. Because again, even though theirs does come with the full terabyte of memory, like the PS4 does, again, or the PS4 Pro does, it's going with its own specifically designed SSD card. And that's the thing that really is like, you're both doing SSD cards and you both have to have them specifically designed for your consoles. Ugh. Thank God I have a Star Wars PlayStation Pro. Trying to bring this back to Star Wars because that's what the conversation was supposed to be. Amanda comes in and she ruins the entire Star Wars conversation. My bad. But it is a Star Wars PlayStation Pro. And I have a Star Wars PlayStation. And I have a Star Wars Xbox 360.
I have Star Wars Fallen Empire.
I'm trying to bring it back. I took over. I'm bringing it back. My bad. It's okay. They're my sponsors. I'll do to them what I want. No, it's okay. Sorry. Dinner.
Speaking of sponsors.
That's what we used to do.
This podcast is brought to you by food. You eat it, so you have energy. The end. Bye.
Hey, I'll ask both of you that going back to Empire, because we're going to cut it here real soon. Because we mentioned, the bastardized special edition version. Was I the only one that was bothered when I watched Empire Strikes Back, the special edition, when they showed the snow speeder crashing? Remember in the good old days where, because the technology was limited, you could see through like the matte painting of the cockpit of the snow speeder, where you could see the AT-AT leg
and stuff. Yeah,
it bothered me. It legitimately bothered me when they cleaned that up, because I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, the first time I saw it was at the theater. I'm like, something wasn't right. And it wasn't until I bought the VHS copies, that's how long ago it was, the VHS copies of the special edition. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. I'm like, you can't see through this. You can't see through the cockpit anymore.
Nope.
Well, it's just like Vader's eyes back in the first one. Remember, you could always see through the eyes a little bit.
Oh yeah. They should have kept that, because that just made it creepier. Because that just like you knew there was a guy behind the mask, but I was like really drove it home that there was a guy behind that mask.
Krause and George Lucas got into it, they would ever let anybody see any part of David Prowse ever again? I don't think so.
No,
No, for the most part, when it comes to the debauchery of my movies, George Lucas may have created them, but they're mine. Empire did the worst, which proves how great of a movie it is. But the biggest piss off. No. I finish. The biggest piss off was taking it away eventually. Was when Luke went, I ain't joining you, and leaps or falls.
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
Okay, you guys gotta stop with the nose. You all are not. Stop with your stupid no. He does it on purpose. Why would you go, no?
Yeah, no. He cried like a little bitch. Look, that would have been different. It would have been even better if he was going to do it. Instead of making him cry like a little bitch, like, make it go, woo! Like throwing up the devil horns, like rocking out on his way down. That can be done. I want somebody to redo that edit where instead of the little bitch scream.
Right. He chose to let go. He chose to fall. You don't scream no when you choose something like that. You're like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
No. The best one I have ever heard. The best one I have ever heard. Look it up on YouTube. It was one of those, I can't remember how I found the link, but somebody had put in the goofy Yahoo! Scream. While like, oh my God. Because it wasn't, not only did they do it, because there's many different iterations of it, it's like that person went through all of them and found the best one. And it was just like, I was like, oh my God. It's like, that is canon for me. That him doing the goofy yell. That would be funny.
Me. But it's not like Darth Vader went, this is the Empire, and kicked him off the thing, and he's like, no! And even then, watch it.
That would have been dope. This is Bespin! Bah! This is Bespin. Oh my God.
Star Wars and the word no. Seriously, how do you destroy the word no? Lucasfilm is the only people I know who could take the word no, no, no.
Yeah.
And turn it
Lucasfilm
into. What did you do?
Lucasfilm. Yeah, and Lucasfilm is the only people that can not only ruin the word no, but ruin Tommy Lee Jones delivering it. That man has the most. His voice has gravitas. You hear his voice, you feel it in your soul. But even he was like, no. Like at some point, like you can't tell me that he didn't read that script and go, look, I know I only do his voice, but no, this is stupid.
Yeah.
James, could you please just deliver the line? I'm not saying this. Darth Vader would not do this. James, just please, we've got the check.
Yeah, the only other thing that I didn't like is, and I know it's supposed to be their continuity, is changing Boba Fett's voice. I'm sorry, the voice of the guy who plays Jango Fett does not match the voice of the personality you have with Boba. It really doesn't. And don't go, well, he's his clone. Well, that's great. This is Boba Fett, one of the greatest bounty hunters. Who's to say that he didn't get shot in the neck and had some surgery or something that just changed his voice? So
he could have smoked.
No,
you're telling me Boba Fett was a smoker.
Smoking is. Don't you know that smokers are worse than heroin addicts?
I know, but I'm just saying that, okay, he smoked death sticks. That man was on death sticks. He got done slaughtering a bunch of bounties, and he was just like... Look,
if you want to go... That's great. My Boba Fett was on this really awesome bounty and got shot and had a surgery, and that's why he gets the voice that he gets. End of story. Okay, but mine would make a cooler episode than yours would.
He got that voice because we all know how he kept out of Imperial prison.
The same way John did.
But I will say this, one thing that I really did like, the one thing the special edition did get right was expanding on the look and the feel of Cloud City.
Coming in,
I really did. I liked that. I will defend that. I liked that because we saw some pictures from the outside, and then, when we saw windows, we just saw cloud, but we got to see more of the city. I did appreciate that.
There are things that I think, and again, this just proves that when George Lucas is not directing a movie, there's very little to change.
Yeah.
When George Lucas is directing a movie, you get things like, hey, we cut off the battle droid's head and now we have to follow it over here because this makes absolutely no freaking sense.
Yeah.
Hey, and let's have our kid character step and poo. It's funny, kids will laugh. Even Ewoks didn't step and poo, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Ewoks were badass than Jar Jar, and Ewoks were the Jar Jars of our day. Just saying.
Dude, well,
and that's a killer cartoon series. Jar Jar didn't get a killer cartoon series.
Well, the Ewoks ate stormtroopers after the battle, so...
Yes, they freaking did. They ate their asses. Yes, they did.
And they got 2 crappy movies, but they got a really kick-ass cartoon series.
I liked the cartoon.
Ewoks. They're the spirit of the forest moon. Even the cartoon tells you it's the forest moon of Endor, you assholes. Just saying.
Yeah. I did. That was a nice little touch at the end of The Last Jedi when they showed Wicket and his son, I liked that, especially when you found out later on that it really was Warwick Davis and his son in the suits.
I hate the special edition to Return of the Jedi. I hate it. No. Not even just for the Anakin Skywalker part. It's look, the entire universe knows the Emperor. Okay, no. It's more grounded of the people celebrating as the parts of the Death Star are still falling onto the forest moon of Endor. How did the people on Alderaan know? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Yeah, even with that level of technology, there's still a few minute gap, The
Death Star's still blowing up, and its pieces are burning up in the atmosphere of the forest moon of Endor, and you're telling me that Naboo! It's a free! No. No.
Celebrate the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum nub. Yum nub.
Yeah.
It's Chihuahua. Stupid lurdos.
That is a scene. You know what? I'm really surprised. Like Robot Chicken didn't do, because I know they've done some Star Wars ones where you see the Battle of Endor and you see the cutesy Ewok fights. Where they crush this and they roll down there, but then you just show one Ewok. I mean, freaking cannibalizing with like a butter knife. One, like flat out murdering, and like Luke and Leia and all them turn are like. Then they show the other cutie Ewoks, like, oh, I made him trip and fall. Oops, he got caught in a net. And then there's Murder McGee over here, eating a stormtrooper femur.
Well,
I would watch that.
They needed new drums. Just don't ask what's on the kebab. Just don't ask. Just eat it.
Yeah. Everybody's celebrating, and Lando's like, "This is delicious. What kind of indigenous creature is this?"
Man, I didn't know the made on this planet. Actually, clones are gone. Clones died in the first one.
Yeah.
That was the first on the original Death Star.
Yeah.
After that, they had to go get rid of him, which is why it never made sense that the one stormtrooper knocks his head, because they're all supposed to be clones on the Death Star. So,
yeah, no.
The script that he was a clone. Oh, wait, he didn't think that far ahead. Unlike everybody's like, oh, he knew the entire storyline. No, he did not. No, he did not.
It was an accident on set. People loved it. He should have just.
And the fact that he's like, inflames it. Clonk. Okay. So, you want to talk about continuity. These are all supposed to be 501st members, which are clones. None of them have Boba Fett, Jango Fett's voice, but Boba Fett has to have it because that's his clone son. And since they're all supposed to be the same size, that guy's going to knock his head and you're going to emphasize it. But you have to change Boba Fett's voice for continuity. Do you not see where you're having the problem here, Mr. Lucas, sir? We need to have a sit down. We need to give you your meds. We need to take this away from you, and we'll go fix this. Bye. Love you. Good for giving me my Star Wars.
He's coming back to do the next 3.
Let's not, because he already. It's not bad enough that he changed the whole cantina scene, but had to go. I want to add more to it before it gets on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Haven't you done enough? Can you not take a page out of Spielberg's book where Spielberg goes, "Ooh, I messed up putting walkie-talkies in. Put the guns back. Put the guns back."
I think what needs to happen is I think Jon Favreau just needs to go, "Bro, I love you and I respect you. We got this. We got this."
And now that Disney has Fox, are they ever going to turn it to the 21st century? Fox Studios is still stuck in the 20th century. Guys, we moved on. And do you think they'll put the fanfare in with the rest of the movies? Like, make me the ultimate edition, where here, you guys can have your crappy special edition if for some stupid reason you're off your meds and you like it. And then we can have our original edition. Hell, you can't even do the digitally remastered that doesn't have all the crap in it. They just cleaned everything up. I'm okay with the digitally remastered one. I'll take that. Yeah. Don't tell me you ain't got it, because I got that. So
yeah,
you can do that. So give me my digitally. So do digitally remastered. You could give all the people their crappy stuff. You can put in the stuff there. What are those? The prequels. Put Rogue One in it. You can skip the Solo. Put Rogue One in it, and we'll make you 3 new movies to go with.
They got the 20th Century back on it. They got the 20th Century Fox. They got the 20th Century Fox on the beginning, now on Disney Plus.
Right, but it's now the 21st century. They have to change it.
Yeah, no, this is what it was originally released.
Hmm.
So I have one question. Rogue One.
Newsflash, live from 17th Century Fox.
We've
got talkies now.
Rogue One. Awesome? Not awesome? Because I never got to talk to you.
I love Rogue One.
Any down point for you?
Ooh.
Because I have one. Because they almost made me burn the theater down. Darth Vader shouldn't have talked at all in that one scene. He shouldn't have talked at all. Because it sounds like Darth Vader smoked about 3 packs of cigarettes a day since the last time.
Oh, I got you.
On top of that, Darth Vader would not make that stupid of a don't choke on your aspirate. Okay, no, my Vader ain't gonna do that.
That was a pun. Yeah. It's like, just because we know he's a dad now does not give you the right to make Darth Vader have a dad pun.
Right, and
I hope he doesn't choke on his aspirations.
And he doesn't even know he's a dad yet, so no.
I'm Luke Skywalker. Hi, Luke Skywalker. I'm Dad.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
like
a Jedi. Hi, yeah.
I was so, like, my sister looked at me and I was like, don't. And she's like, you're pissed. I was like, don't. And now, thank God, there's that redeeming ending. Oh, yeah!
Oh.
Kill them all, get the plans! Oh, wait, I know how this ends. But do it anyway! Kill them all!
That was legitimately one of the first times on screen we got to see him actually be the badass we were told he was.
That poor guy. Just take it! I'm dead! Take it! Oh my God, just take it! Please!
Because think about it, we grew up with the original 3, and we were told that Darth Vader was like the biggest badass in the entire universe. Now, Force-wise, I'll give you that. But like, even when he was fighting Luke, it was very like... It was
No. I'm gonna stop you right there. No. It wasn't like that. This is what it was. Luke was over-exaggerating his moves to make Vader look like that. Because if you really pay attention in The Empire Strikes Back, Vader's very confident that he can destroy the boy. He doesn't want to destroy the boy, so he limits his movements so he doesn't destroy the boy, thinking that he can bring the boy to his side since it is his son. Notice the fact that Vader never puts a second hand on his lightsaber and only uses one hand during that battle. Unlike by the time you get to Return of the Jedi, where he is double fisting his lightsaber because he's like, oh my God, my son, holy crap, shit, down!
I'll give you that. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, though. I mean, yeah, he was holding back, but we didn't get to see Vader unleashed until that moment, and
right.
that was that was badass.
At least you still got to see him overpower Luke, because here's Luke giving everything that he has. Even Vader goes impressive, most impressive, but you're not a Jedi yet. And because of that, I'm gonna throw this at you, and then I'm gonna throw. He's kind of like having that villain who's doing their nails. Oh, here. Fight this. That's lovely.
That was that entire fight was the space equivalent of your uncle doing this to you, like holding your head back, like, you can't hit me, you can't hit. You know what I mean? That's what that entire fight was. That was the Force version of your uncle holding your head while you're like trying to swing at him.
But I will give credit where credit is due, because I love the fact that if you really watch the movie, Luke's always a step down from Vader for the most part, or he's bent or he's crouched, because the guy who did the stunts in it, unlike the first movie where David Prowse actually was in the costume during the Obi-Wan versus Vader scene, they actually brought in a stunt double to actually do the Vader or choreographed scenes against Luke. But he was much shorter than David Prowse. That's why you'll see Luke's always at a lower angle than Vader, so Vader still gives off the "I'm taller than you" look.
How embarrassing would that be? Like, first day on set, like here's David Prowse, like, all right, bring in the stunt double. They just look at each other like,
what are you doing? And it doesn't help that, David Prowse is already a tall guy, and then he had platforms? Oh, God.
Yeah. All right, Rich, I'm going to be the one to call this. We're hitting the 2:15 mark, and I think that's about where we cut out last time. So,
yeah.
Good timing, because in 1 minute I have to pull my crew together to get ready for our live stream at 10:45.
So, speaking of, Amanda, thank you for showing up. This was great. I loved you popping in like this. I haven't seen you forever, Amanda. I just realized that. I miss you. haven't gotten to see we haven't gotten to see anybody, man. I am missing my friends something harsh.
Okay.
Amanda, for those who, go ahead.
Go.
I was going to say, for those who may be watching us, that aren't familiar with Amanda, where can everybody find you at on the internet?
Nowadays, I mean, you can follow our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But where you're going to find us the most is actually on Twitch. We're Twitch TV. It's twitch.tv / there's my alarm. / Amanda. So you see my name there. Gilliam. That's spelled like William, but with the G instead of a W. At Presents. Richard, if you go to the private chat, you should be able to copy that and then put it into the live comments. With that, Wednesdays through Sundays. Bye, Richard. Wednesdays through Sundays.
Don't leave me alone with her.
Here, I know how to fix this one. I think I can fix this. Give me a second. Anyway, Wednesdays through Sundays, we do live streams playing video games anywhere. Starting at 10:45, we play everything from Dead by Daylight to... hi, welcome back, Richard. We play Dead by Daylight to Fortnite to Grand Theft Auto 5, you name it, we play it. And then we also do our podcast, which, guys, if you guys ever want to come on, we've changed the podcast a little bit. So we still do interviews with creators.
I am not doing it topless. Okay, I'll do it topless.
You can. So
why not? I'm not wearing any pants.
I wasn't wearing a shirt when, boom, here, come the StreamYard showed up, and I went, Thanks, Richard. I had no clothes on. So what we've done now is we still do interviews with creators, but those are Wednesdays through Mondays, and a creator gets to pick their time. And on Tuesdays, we still do our Tuesday podcast starting at 7 p.m. where anybody from the only AGP crew members and sponsors are allowed. And it's kind of like an off-topic thing. You don't have to wear your custom shirts unless you don't want to. You don't have to wear your makeup. You don't have to do your hair. It's totally unprofessional. If you're running late and you have to eat your dinner on stream, you can.
Nerds Unfiltered.
It really kind of is. Like last episode, we played with some animals.
How's everybody doing?
That's kind of what we do. We pulled out we pull out alcohol in the whole 9 yards. But all of our content is exclusively on Twitch for the first week, and then it moves over to YouTube. And if you would like to follow or subscribing to Twitch, if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is link your Amazon Prime to the Twitch channel that you want to subscribe to, which should be Amanda Gilliam Presents. And it costs you nothing, and it helps us to keep making content. And keep my lights on. And keep the air conditioner on so I don't have to wear so I can run around nude. No.
Need the AC right now. Good Lord. And Richard, where can everybody find us on the interwebs?
UndergroundVideoNetwork.com, and you can find the link to all our socials there.
All right, so on behalf of Richard and myself and Amanda, thanks everybody for watching. Amanda, thanks for coming on. I miss you guys. I can't wait until cons start up. We hope everybody's staying safe, and we'll hope to see you soon. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Haha, I got it in.